watching a brand new week of Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. On the show tonight, huge controversy breaks out over VHP leader Pravin Togadia's alleged anti-Muslim remarks in Gujarat. The RSS defends Togadia, says he spoke no such thing, but Togadia is on tape. Are people like Pravin Togadia and Giriraj Singh hurting the Modi campaign? Why hasn't Togadia been arrested? And why is Narendra Modi silent on the comments of Giriraj Singh, a BJP leader? Well, the Election Commission has stepped in and asked for a recording of VHP leader Pravin Togadia's highly controversial remarks in Bhavnagar, where he's heard telling Hindus how to throw out a Muslim house owner from their locality. The comments have been completely denied by Togadia earlier and by the RSS, which today called them fabricated. But there is a video of what Mr Togadia said, where he is clearly seen and heard. And while the BJP has distanced itself from the comments, the fact is the Gujarat government has yet to take action against Mr Togadia.
पहला एक मकान ऊंची कीमते खरीदू અને પછી અડધી કિંમતે હિન્દુઓના મકાન ખરીદવા આ સ્ટ્રેટેજીનો હિસ્સો છે અને રોકી કઈ રીતે શકાય તો રોકવાના બે રસ્તા છે એક રસ્તો સરકાર ડિસ્ટર્બિંગ એક્ટ લગાવે જે અમદાવાદ એવા બધામાં લગાવડાવ્યો છે એવો એક્ટ લાગે તો હિન્દુ મેજોરિટી વિસ્તારમાં મુસલમાન મકાન નહીં ખરીદી શકે મેં પહેલાં આવું કરેલું છે અને આવો મકાનનો કબજો લાંબો સમય મારી પાસે બજરંગ દળના બોર્ડ દ્વારા રાખ્યો હતો મુસલમાનના પૈસાએ ગયા મકાને ગયું કોર્ટમાં કેસ લડ્યા આપણી બહુમતી છે ત્યાં કાયદો હાથમાં લઈને ડરાવવાની તાકાત હોવી જોઈએ.
VHP leader Pravin Togadia's insightful hate remarks. He was speaking to residents of Bhavnagar, a town in Gujarat. The remarks come 2 days after Giriraj asked anti-Modi protesters to go to Pakistan if they didn't want to vote for Modi.
और रात को 11 बजे कोई मीटिंग नहीं थी, प्रोटेस्ट था, मैं जा रहा था, 1000 लोग खड़े होकर घेर कर आ गए और उन्होंने कहा कि दबाव देकर धमकियां देकर मुसलमान हमारे घर खाली करवा रहे हैं, आप मदद करो. मैंने कहा कानून का मदद लो. तो लोगों को दबाव से मुसलमान मकान खाली करवा रहे हैं. मुसलमानों का मकान किसी ने खाली करवा रही है नहीं है. कानूनी प्रक्रिया से उनकी चिंता सब मिलकर करें.
Giriraj's remarks were condemned by the BJP, but with Togadia, denial seems to be the order of the day. First, Ram Madhav of the RSS, who tweeted, "It was another media fabrication that the RSS supported Togadia's speech. Firstly, we disapprove of any discrimination on the basis of caste and religion." He also said that Togadia had denied making the statement. And then the BJP, who washed its hands of Togadia, but also slammed the media's alleged distortion.
भाई प्रवीण टोगाडिया भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हैं क्या? पहले तो ये बता दीजिए, प्रवीण तोगडिया जी के स्टेटमेंट पर जो कुछ कहना था मेरा ख्याल वो बयान आ चुका है. आई कंडेम पीपल हु स्पीक विदाउट रिहर्सिंग वेल एंड विदाउट थिंकिंग, and I also condemn those who twist and turn the statement.
Other parties too, including BJP ally the Akali Dal, reacted strongly.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि प्रवीण तगोडिया का तो इलाज होना चाहिए, उन्हें हॉस्पिटलाइज करना चाहिए. एक दूसरे के इलाके में जमीन नहीं खरीद पाएगा तो ये संविधान के खिलाफ तो है ही.
Ironically, there has been no love lost between Mr Modi and Mr Togadia. The BJP's prime ministerial candidate arrested Togadia when he was protesting demolition of temples done for widening roads in Gujarat.
While on one hand Narendra Modi tries to hard sell his development agenda, on the other hand voices within the BJP as well as the Parivar have often left the BJP red-faced and have given its rivals once again an opportunity to corner the BJP with.
So will the BJP take this opportunity to take stern actions against the Sangh's loose cannons, or will these remarks make things even more difficult for Narendra Modi? With Rohit Bhan in Ahmedabad and Siddharth Pandey in Delhi, Rohit Rajan for NDTV.
Well, do people like Pravin Togadia and Giriraj Singh actually hurt the Modi-led BJP campaign at a time when it appears that Mr Modi is trying to rebrand himself, and certainly an attempt is being made to change his image into a more positive one ahead of the general elections? Well, let me take that question first to Mr Prakash Javadekar, national spokesperson of the BJP, who joins us tonight. Mr Javadekar, do you believe that the Gujarat government should arrest Pravin Togadia or not? Should he be arrested for making those remarks?
I am in Hyderabad, so I don't know the exact specification where the speech is made, but one thing is very sure, that if the reported statement of Togadia or even Giriraj Singh is correct, as reported, and if that is the speech or the statement, we completely denounce. This is definitely not the BJP view, or as Sangha has also said, it is not either Sangha view. So it is absolutely very clear on our side, and definitely this hurts the campaign unnecessarily.
And therefore, Mr. Javadekar, should then Pravin Togadia be arrested if indeed these remarks are confirmed? The Election Commission has asked for the tape.
Election Commission, during the course of election, conduct of election is the Election Commission's prerogative. So whatever Election Commission suggests, the state governments are now not administered in a way by the government, but for election things, it is under the supervision of Election Commission. So the writ of Election Commission continues, and therefore it has to tell what is to be done, and whatever they say, state governments are obliged to follow.
I'm going to take my next question though to Swapan Dasgupta, who joins us tonight from Varanasi. Mr. Dasgupta, do you believe that these controversies and speeches by the likes of Mr. Togadia and Giriraj Singh hurt the campaign of the BJP? Mr. Prakash Javadekar admits that they do. Do you believe that this hurts Mr. Modi in particular because he is trying to project a very different image? This takes him 10 steps back.
Well, I think there are two aspects to that question because it concerns two distinct individuals. As far as Giriraj Singh is concerned, yes, Giriraj Singh has been associated very closely with the move to make Modi the BJP's prime ministerial candidate, and since he's been rather reckless in his comments, yes, it does hurt Modi's campaign. But when it comes to Dr. Togadia, now I think the strained relationship between Dr. Togadia and Narendra Modi is no secret. Mr. Togadia almost has a visceral hatred of Narendra Modi, and therefore what Dr. Togadia has said, I can't see how that can be pinned in any way to Narendra Modi at all, because he's a wild, unguided missile whose utterances are completely despicable. And in this case, if true, although he appears to be denying it, if true, certainly that has no place in any form of acceptable political discourse. And if the Election Commission does recommend that action be taken against Dr. Togadia, then I think it will be most fitting. But I don't think how you can pin this to Narendra Modi. Because
he's a part of the Sangh
Parivar.
Really,
I mean,
he's a part of the. You're right. There is a history, but the RSS was quick to say it was all fabricated. The RSS was quick to say this morning that it was fabricated. My point is, would it help if Mr. Modi even tweeted and said that such comments are despicable? Like you said, Swapan, you said that these are despicable comments by an unguided missile. If Mr. Modi said these are despicable, or what Mr. Giriraj Singh said was unacceptable, wouldn't that be a good reassuring step?
I think that there has been a certain measures, harsh strictures passed against Mr. Giriraj Singh by Rajnath Singh ji, if I am not mistaken. But yes, Mr. Modi can, if he wants to. If tweeting is the current fad, then certainly, if a tweet can do the trick, certainly he should do it. But to bring Mr. Togadia and Mr. Modi on the same platform, I think it's just astonishing. How the hell can you bring them? I mean, Togadia hates Modi. And how the hell is he responsible for? In fact, I would go so far as to say, in certain respects, Togadia is the C team of the Congress, in so far as the effects of what he does is concerned.
Why was the RSS quick to defend Mr. Togadia then today, if that's the case?
Ask the RSS. I don't know.
Is the RSS not the parent body of the BJP, or that's going to be denied as well?
No, it's not a question of being the parent body. These are various organizations which have affiliate which have certain fraternal links with the RSS. And as far as the BJP, the political party, is concerned, they are running a political campaign based on the which centered on the general election. I think to say that everything which has been done by a certain affiliate body, one representative of an affiliate body, and to try and attach it, it's like saying some of the ridiculous assertions of some left-wing intellectuals in the world should be attached to directly to the Congress.
But it's a little bit harder.
You can't just bring everything together.
Sure, but it's a little bit harder to
You might think
disown
it's
Giriraj Singh. I'm saying it's a
Look,
little
the
bit harder
point
to
is, why
disown.
do you want to, Nidhi, I can appreciate your attempt to drag Mr. Modi into any controversy, but find a better example than Togadia.
I'm giving you Giriraj Singh. I'm giving you Giriraj Singh. Since you think Mr. Togadia is not an example, Giriraj Singh is a BJP candidate from Nevada. So why hasn't Mr. Modi spoken on that? Why should Mr. Modi's critics go to Pakistan?
Giriraj Singh's comments have been outrightly disowned by the president of the BJP.
Why not the prime ministerial candidate?
He has won them. Therefore, that is the right way to do it.
Okay, let me take that to Siddharth
And
Bhatia.
I don't see why you just say, oh, Modi hasn't said it. Modi hasn't said something. There has been a kidnapping somewhere. Modi hasn't said something. Modi is guilty of everything.
Well,
I mean, come on.
He is the prime ministerial candidate.
Don't bring Togadia and Modi into the same platform.
He is the prime ministerial candidate.
talking
Giriraj
about
Singh
Togadia.
made his
I'm talking
threat
about Togadia.
using
I'm
Mr.
talking
Modi's
about
name.
Togadia.
No, even Togadia,
I am
it's part of the
talking
Sangh
about
Parivar.
Togadia.
So the Gujarat government should act swiftly and take action.
You are part of the NDTV Parivar. You are part of the NDTV Parivar. Everything NDTV does, you own up to it.
Okay, thank you.
Tomorrow
Thank you
your channel makes a fuss. Am I to say that the Congress is responsible? Come on.
I don't quite understand
I have
what
a
you mean by that.
responsible approach to the whole thing. Well, you understood exactly what I mean by it, but let's not elaborate and digress into
Mr.
this.
Dasgupta, I don't know if you watched our program on the day that Imran Masood made his despicable comments about chopping Mr. Modi to pieces,
No, I
where
didn't.
we asked the same questions
I didn't.
about Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party and how they were defending Imran Masood and how he should have cancelled his rally in Sultanpur. Please do go and watch that video clip when you get a moment. Let me take the next question to Siddharth Bhatia then. Siddharth Bhatia.
I'm sure what it.
Sure. So before you make that accusation, do go watch that clip because what Imran Masood did was equally despicable and was also
Will I
condemned.
accuse the Congress?
You don't have to make everything's not a conspiracy theory. That's my point. Siddharth Bhatia. Swapna Gupta makes an important point. He makes an important point about Pravin Togadia's relationship with Narendra Modi and how antagonistic it has been. And therefore, there is a theory, I don't know how much you buy that maybe this was deliberately done at this time. That is one theory that is floating around. What do you think? Should the BJP be held responsible for what Mr. Togadia says?
Well, firstly, I think millions and hundreds of millions of ordinary Indians are not privy to the inner workings of the Sangh Parivar and who is with whom, who is against whom, who has been attacking whom, where the history goes, etc. As far as they are concerned, it is absolutely technically correct to say Togadia is from the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, but there have been n number of occasions where the Vishwa Hindu Parishad has very happily worked and has been accepted to work along with the Sangh Parivar on several platforms. So the Sangh Parivar I'm talking about now for a moment. I mean, you can now technically distinguish each one and say, but you know, there is this other organization which has nothing to do with this. Secondly, as you have pointed out, Ram Madhav came out of the RSS came out. Now, are we going to say that Ram Madhav and RSS are not attached to the BJP? He did not come out and say it is unfortunate. He came out and said this never happened. So therefore, there is an element of defense no matter what. And now the proof has come out, so I don't know what they are going to say. Thirdly, if indeed we are informed that Mr. Modi and Mr. Togadia have this animosity going back for a long time, and therefore there is an attempt to trip him, and there is that one of the conspiracy theories that he has said it only to trip him. If indeed that is the case, all the more reason why the BJP, somebody top from the BJP, if not Mr. Modi, should come out and say, you know, this man is despicable. We condemn it because he is just trying to rake up mischief. So far it hasn't happened.
I said it.
That is as far as Mr. Togadia is concerned. In Mr. Togadia's defense is, I never said this. As far as Giriraj Singh is concerned, he is a candidate. The fact that he has been pulled up has been followed also by the fact that he says, I stand by it. So, the general impression, and every day somebody or the other says this on television, politics is about perception, that the general impression is that either there is a larger game going on, the unacceptable things are said by somebody and the acceptable development things are said by somebody else, or this is the true face, or I think Mr. Togadia, likes of Mr. Togadia have become kind of bone stuck in the Sangh Parivar's throat. If they condemn him, they lose the hardcore. If they denounce him, but if they do not, then people are going to ask, why are you not denouncing it?
Okay, I'm going to take that
So
to
I
Naresh
think
Gujral.
you cannot just dismiss Togadia by saying, oh, he has this animosity.
Okay, so Mr. Naresh Gujral, you actually had very strong words of condemnation for these kind of comments today. Would you like to have seen more both on what Giriraj Singh said and on Pravin Togadia from the BJP's top leadership? And yes, starting with Mr. Modi.
Look, all these fanatics, they not only harm Mr. Modi and the BJP, but also the NDA. But at the same time, you can't expect Mr. Modi to be replying to every such lunatic who speaks out. He has better things to do. He is touring around the country. But yes, Mr. Rajnath Singh has condemned it, has deplored it, and I think we should let it rest now, because the country has other things to talk about rather than just discussing these lunatics.
Is Giriraj Singh a lunatic? I thought he's the official candidate from Nevada.
May I say something? May I say something?
Personally, I think he should be disfranchised.
Okay, strong words there from Mr. Gujral. Yes, Siddharth, and then I'll come to Mahesh Bhatt. Yes.
May I say something?
Yes.
I just want to remind everybody that Mr. Masood's arrest was demanded and he was arrested. So I don't think leaving this behind and moving on is the answer here, as far as Giriraj Singh is concerned. Mr. Masood was arrested.
I agree with you. Strictest action should be taken against them. They should be arrested. And they should also be disfranchised.
I'm going to take that to Mr. Javadekar briefly. Mr. Javadekar, your ally, the Akali Dal, says someone like Giriraj Singh shouldn't be representing you in this election. He shouldn't be your candidate.
See, this is India's democratic setup. Because our allies can express their opinion. It is not like a Congress UPA, or it is not like a Congress which is one family party. But apart from that, the main issue, anybody, I condemned it right, and when you asked me first, I said yes, this hurts and this is condemnable. But as you asked me, who is to do about Masood and everybody, it was Election Commission which did. And that is what Election Commission has already taken note of, and they will issue what has to be done. So the whole administration, as far as conduct of election is concerned, is under Election Commission's guidelines, and therefore any breach of code of conduct is being noted and taken cognizance of by the Election Commission. Knowing these facts fully well, still if you want to continue, as Swapan Gupta says, that why we are discussing this, you said that you are trying to discuss that this time there is no communal discourse, or there is nothing, it's a changed discourse. And that is why Modi is leading this changed discourse, changed narrative.
But
We
what
should
about what
discuss
Mr.
that.
Gujral said?
Instead, you want
should Giriraj Singh still be your candidate? We asked the same question of the Congress party, Mr. Javadekar, at that time, that Imran Masood shouldn't have been their candidate at all. Rahul Gandhi shouldn't even have gone there and held that rally. It's shameful that he went. Of course. So we're asking the same question about Giriraj Singh.
So that is what. But Masood is also not gone. He is their candidate.
Of course, and it's shameful.
The elections of Nawada, 1 minute. The election for Nawada is already over. We can't discuss an absolute thing.
Okay.
You can ask what party has said. Party has already disowned, and party has reprimanded him.
Well, then maybe you should.
But beyond this, No, that you are not running the party, no. Then there are hundreds examples of Congress, and when that so-called secular brigade remains silent on Congress's things, they
Why?
don't speak a thing.
Nobody is silent.
They can
I challenge you.
many things.
Nobody is silent.
Yes.
The Imran Masood story was the top story on all TV channels, sir, that night. I challenge you on that.
I'm not asking, I'm not saying about.
No,
I'm not
because
saying
there's
about
always a
NDTV
counter-attack.
channel, a particular
There's
channel.
there's always a counter-attack.
So-called secular.
Let me ask Mahesh Bhatt though. Mahesh Bhatt, does Swapan Das Gupta have a point where he says that in a sense we waste time giving lunatics like Pravin Togadia space? Even talking about this in the media, that this is a complete fringe element. Is that how we should be looking at this today? Or are you more worried? Because you are one of those who has signed up and said that you believe Modi would be dangerous as Prime Minister. Is there really a link between Narendra Modi and Pravin Togadia is my question to you.
Nidhi, rebirth through elimination has been the familiar song of the fascist ideology. One has heard this since the dawn of time. It is important for the BJP Prime Ministerial candidate to demonstrate now that he has cut off the umbilical cord with the Sangh Parivar, because the Hindutva ideology is at loggerheads with the ideas of India, which says this nation belongs to everyone. And unless all those who believe in different narratives can coexist in harmony, India will not be a flourishing nation. And the Hindutva ideology chooses to impose one narrative on a nation of 1.2 billion people. So, even in a cricket match, we want a neutral umpire. In matters of choosing a leader at the Prime Ministerial level, I want an umpire, the Prime Minister, whom I perceive has no biases. Even if the biases are there, those biases have to be benign. And I think the need of the hour is for Mr. Narendra Modi to prove and demonstrate that he has moved away light years from this lunatic fringe. I was very happy that Mr. Javadekar, in the beginning, denounced Mr. Togadia if he said he has said this. It's a welcome sign. And I must tell you, as I talk to you, right up to this moment, I've been getting calls from very concerned people about Mr. Togadia's hate speech. And if you say that don't make anything out of this, these are fringe elements, ignore them, I think it's a job of the potential Prime Minister, the Prime Minister in making, Mr. Narendra Modi, to dispel the paranoia, the fear in the likes of us, because we feel suspect whether he has an unbiased mind. We're willing to give him a chance because I have seen him in 2003. He did call me up and said he was willing to negotiate with the Jamiyat to resolve all the problems. And the Jamiyat did not respond. But in 2008, when they accused my son of having some kind of connection with Headley, my movies were pulled down in Gujarat, which was the chief where Modi ruled. So because I oppose the right-wing politics, I was at the receiving end. So I don't know which side he is. But I know the world is not a static place. People change. And I'm willing to concede that he has undergone a change. But in moments like this, I feel that the growth narrative is the fig leaf, and underneath something sinister is alive and kicking. And in moments like this, it is for the BJP and Mr. Narendra Modi.
Okay, before I come to the
delete himself from
let me come.
Mr. Javadekar and then Swapan.
One sentence. Yeah, the simple issue is Mahesh Bhatt is giving lecture here. The issue is he has never condemned Maut Ka Saudagar. He has never condemned important. He has never condemned the many abuses Congress is hurling at Modi. And so there can't be a fair discourse if you are not fair.
Is there an equivalence that we have to draw every time there is, it's like there was a riot in my time, therefore what about your riot? I said a bad word, what about your bad word?
Mr. Javadekar, yes. I began by praising you. I'm willing to see that you have changed. The need is in me to believe that you are a fair man. The need is in me to believe that Mr. Modi is a fair man. I'm not the subject of the ruling party. I'm the citizen of India who has allegiance to the Constitution of India.
Okay, I want to take this to Swapan Das Gupta, though, what you said, Mahesh Bhatt. Swapan, Mahesh Bhatt says that Modi needs to prove that he is far away from this lunatic fringe. We're willing to give him a chance, but we need that reassurance that he's not with this lunatic fringe, that he's completely distancing himself from them. Or are you going to say that his silence speaks those words?
You know, like Mahesh Bhatt, I too have received various phone calls, and those phone calls are full of outrage against certain Bollywood people who tend to describe a particular prime ministerial candidate in an election as fascist. A word which suggests by implication that there can be no happy meeting ground of minds or acceptable differences. Yet in the same breath, Mahesh Bhatt talks about his idea of India. And the problem I have with Mahesh Bhatt's idea of India is that it is his idea of India. He doesn't believe that there can be alternative ideas of India, and therefore to actually try and codify the idea of India to something which is beyond the constitution, into something which runs into political idea, is itself a thing. Now don't raise your voice, Mahesh. Let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. The whole point is, there is an undercurrent of nervousness which boils over into sort of a fanatical indignation which suggests I am correct and everyone else is fascist. And therefore, please demonstrate that you don't beat your wife. You're not a fascist. That is no way to conduct a political discussion. Mr. Modi is not on trial. It is some people who are lunatic fringes. You are forcibly bringing in Mr. Modi into the thing, and that is not the thing. I don't hold Mahesh Bhatt responsible for the associations of various people. Neither should I believe that Mr. Mahesh Bhatt should bring Modi into the controversy in this. I believe with him that people like Pravin Togadia should be condemned. People like Togadia should be forced into the fringes of society. Maybe, disenfranchisement is a more constitutional thing like Narendra Modi, but I agree with his sentiments that these people have no real stake in the type of India, the democratic India we want, and they are beyond the democratic discourse.